everything is a little bit stiff and very precise. So they are not following trends too early, which I think it's good because I'm German. I like this. But the market needs a little bit more flexibility and looseness, so a little bit more happiness, I would say. So that would be good for the market.
The German e-commerce market is quite unique in a way that is obviously one of the biggest in the world. It's among the top 5, is the biggest in Europe. It's still not the most saturated. So we, in terms of total share of online retail, of total retail, still some way to go when you compare that to other territories. And so it's big. It's mature. At the same time, you have quite specific customer demands and expectations. So the German customer is quite spoiled when it comes to services. They expect fast shipping, free returns, etc., etc. So those are, I think, quite specific aspects of the German e-commerce market.
I think in Germany you have a lot of big brands. You have Amazon, which is a big player. So you have to compete against a really strong e-commerce system. Nevertheless, German customers are looking for quality, as well as a cheap price. And I think that also the user experience should be as good as possible. And this is also why a lot of e-commerce players say they don't want to compete against Amazon, because Amazon has a really good experience in terms of user experience and shopping experience. But you need to make sure that you are even better than Amazon is, because it's such a big player in Germany.
Well, if you compare Germany especially to countries outside of Europe, like the US, like in China, we have a constraint with the GDPR here. Yeah, we have data protection laws that are quite restrictive, that do not allow us things that our competitors overseas are doing. So if you watch webinars, for example, of our colleagues, what they're doing in the US or even China, that's obviously even less severe there, the rights. They recommend you things that are simply not possible anymore. Yeah, we used to do them in the past, but we can't do anymore. So this is really quite unique, because you have to find different ways of marketing, different ways to address your clients or your potential clients, to sell them your products in e-commerce. And yeah, that is quite unique to Germany.
The German e-commerce market, well, it's maybe not that innovative, but I think you can trust it a lot. Also with payment solutions, that's very interesting. I think we are looking more into also like sustainability and regional products more and more. We have this, as I said, like age gap. We have a very old customership where we need different solutions than for the younger audiences. And we have to build fits for both, and also payment solutions that fit like everybody. And this is the interesting part, like in the United States, we'll always like credit card, but now everybody is adapting this buy now, pay later. And this adds a lot of value, just like, as I would say, blockchain solutions for getting customers more engaged.
I think in some aspects we are far behind, and in some aspects we are like ahead. And if you ever look at, for instance, the ways how we work or how we organize and structure things, most of the time we use like these old school kind of approaches to manage things compared to other countries. And I think on the other hand, we have like specific areas and specific verticals where we provide like the best solution on the whole market. So it's very hard to give a very specific answer to that, in my opinion.
I think it's a very competitive market. It's a very interesting market for international and local players. So that means lots of competition. Also gives a very diverse media landscape. So it's not so easy to place your message. And if you find the right way to place your message, it still means it's expensive to get to the right customer. So I think the competitiveness is really what makes the difference in Germany.
The regulation in Germany are quite unique due to the importance for transparency and data security for the German customers. So it makes it quite tricky for business coming out to kind of deal with this difference compared to other markets.
In Germany, the average basket is much higher than in other countries. So that means that the German people are really keen to spend a lot of money on the internet. That's the first thing. Second thing, that there's a level of opportunity as well on the second hand. In our numbers, we can see that Germany is pretty late on that specific subject. So that means that secondhand will be the next big thing in Germany. That's what we are actually expecting. And the third one is that in Germany, you have a very, very high level of spend also in the high tech compared to the other categories. So that means that we can see actually now that all the other categories like fashion and others are really growing very, very quickly compared to the other categories.
I'm not a perfect German example, but I know that the Germans like quality, they like vouchers, they like cheap prices, they like their own language, they like their own TV shows, so you have to offer German language if you want to be successful in e-commerce in Germany. E-commerce Germany also means you have your own warehouse, you have your own network between the bigger European countries so that you can network and trade more in between. So being in the middle and trade more, having your own strong language, not offering everything in English, makes the German market quite unique.
I think it's one of the most competitive markets across Europe, and it's for different reasons, right? You're in the middle of Europe, they have extremely good operations, so there's a very high standard of service that people simply expect, so it works. It's also traditionally comes from a catalog business market, so it wasn't something new for the Germans to figure out. It was actually there. And you have, because it's so central, you have a lot of companies coming in from the east, from the south, penetrating that market. And if you survive in Germany, you can survive in the rest of Europe.